"Don't drink that," she whispered, eyes wide and sharp as the edge of a busted bottle. "It's not just juice." And that's how my whole world started coming apart right there, at the kitchen table, sunshine spilling across the granite, with a 9-year-old kid telling me not to trust the orange juice my fiancé poured. I was halfway to a sip glass, sweating in my hand, when Maya said it. "You know that feeling, when something inside you just locks up?" "Yeah, that happened." I set the glass down, all slow, like it was made of explosives. "What do you mean?" I tried to keep my voice light, but Maya? She wasn't playing. She just stood there, shoulders hunched, pink hoodie too big for her, the whole weight of some old world behind her eyes. "It smells like what they gave us at the center, when they didn't want us to remember." Her voice was barely a whisper, but it cut through everything, even the sound of Vanessa humming in the kitchen, even the guys mowing the lawn outside. That was the moment. Call it paranoia, call it survival, but suddenly my whole life felt off, like I'd walked into my own house and found all the pictures hanging at a slant. "Vanessa made it," I said, voice almost steady. Maya nodded. "I know." I tried to brush it off, ruffled her hair. She didn't flinch, just walked out, sneakers squeaking, and left me alone with a glass of juice I couldn't look at the same way again. So, yeah, I dumped it. Watched that orange swirl down the sink. Didn't say a word to Vanessa, just smiled my usual smile and tried not to act like my insides were on fire. That night, the house felt wrong. You ever get that? Like the silence is listening? Vanessa had gone to bed. I found myself digging through network logs, security feeds, trying to see the pattern Maya had noticed. Maybe I was chasing ghosts, or maybe I was just way too late to notice the ones already inside. 6 weeks before, I'd met Maya through a tech outreach thing. Kid flagged a bug in my company's firewall, tracked her to a foster group home where she was fixing broken tablets for the other kids. Sharpest mind I'd seen in years, and well, I don't know. Maybe I needed to believe I could help somebody. Brought her home. She didn't say much. Watched everything. That night, after the juice, I found a weird device signature in my smart home logs. Something pulsing near the guest room, where Maya slept. Wasn't ours. Wasn't standard. That's when the hairs on my neck started standing up for real. Next morning, I found Maya already in the kitchen, stirring oatmeal. I sat across from her, tried not to look spooked. "I didn't drink it," I said. She didn't smile, but she nodded. "Would you show me how you knew?" Her eyes flicked up. I'll never forget that look. Not surprised, more like, "Finally, you're asking the right question." She took me through it. Said she'd learned to fake drinking anything that smelled like sedative back at the group home. Hid the cups in her hoodie. "You have to know if you're safe," she said, all matter of fact. There was no drama in her words. Just fact. That's the kind of kid she was. I started searching my own house like it was enemy territory. And guess what? We found something. A folded scrap of paper, hidden behind a baseboard, covered in what looked like code. "It's a MAC address," Maya said. "Not one of yours." About then, Margot came in, newer house manager, with a memory like a steel trap. She took one look and said, "I cleaned that hall every Tuesday. Never saw a thing." Maya didn't even look up. That's kind of the point. Margot gave her this long, searching look, then nodded like she was passing a torch. But the real break came when Margot admitted she'd seen Vanessa poking around my desk at odd hours. That, plus the hidden bugs we found, one in a vase Vanessa insisted I keep, one behind a painting, one inside my nightstand, made the world tilt. I trusted Vanessa with my life, my home, my future, and now my fiancé was a traitor. It didn't end there. With Maya's help, in Margot's every room turned into a crime scene. We set traps, created fake folders with tracer code, built a honeypot out of my own company's secret project, waited for the fish to bite. That's when the second twist hit. Miles, my oldest friend, my business partner, was in it too. Maya caught him with a burner phone, pinging the same rogue signal as the bugs. He'd been meeting Vanessa behind my back. She had him wrapped around her little finger, and I'd never seen it. You ever feel that knife go in twice? I did. But we weren't done. The plan was simple. Let them take what they thought was the real thing. Follow the data. Record everything. And when the moment was right, bring in the law. That last night, the house was wired for sound. Vanessa came for dinner, Miles right behind her, the air so thick with tension you could feel it on your teeth. I've decided to name the new protocol after my father, I said, watching their faces. And I've called in the FBI for a full audit. Silence. The first crack in Vanessa's mask. Later, in my study, I I showed them the videos Vanessa sneaking around, Miles copying files. Their faces went dead cold. Then the agents came in, badges out. Vanessa, Miles, you're under arrest for conspiracy and fraud. When it was over and the doors closed, I poured a glass of juice. Just looked at it. Didn't drink. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to face what's been poisoning you before you can move on. But even after the arrests, the story wouldn't quit. We found more board members laundering money, shell companies hidden in plain sight. My charity's reputation dragged through the mud by people I thought were friends. Maya was the one who helped untangle it all, her and Margot, quietly piecing together the story I'd been too blind to see. In the end, I stood before my board, told them the truth, and fired every last one who'd signed off on the fraud. You'd think it would feel good, right? Justice, served cold. But mostly it felt heavy. Because trust doesn't come back easy. And the people you think you know best are the ones who can hurt you most. Maya never asked for thanks. But she stuck around. Helped me visit the schools my foundation was supposed to help, real places, real kids. I watched her talk to them, saw her world open up a little. And I realized sometimes you save a kid, and sometimes they save you right back. The threats never really ended. There was always another player in the shadows, another secret buried in some server farm out in Colorado, another hard drive hidden behind a cabinet. Vanessa had been building blackmail files on everyone, me included. But Maya found the last piece. We took it straight to the feds, watched the dominoes fall. Last week, standing at the edge of a school playground in a dusty Mississippi town, a boy looked up at me and asked, "You really came all the way here?" I said, "I came to see you." Because that's what it's about, and not the money, not the headlines, but the people whose lives get twisted up in all the noise. So, do I regret building the empire? Sometimes. I regret not watching closer. But now, I'm rebuilding with Maya at my side, for real this time. Justice isn't always loud. Sometimes, it's just a whisper in a kitchen, stopping you from drinking the wrong juice. Sometimes, it's one scared kid daring to speak up. And when you finally listen, well, that's when things start to change. So, what do you think? Does justice mean revenge? Or does it mean finally telling the truth? You tell me. Drop a comment below. Let's see what you believe.